Welcome to my 2025 year review of Bridgeport Public Schools' 2025 fiscal crisis. Bridgeport is Connecticut's largest victim of the racial funding gap. The foundation amount for education cost sharing hasn't been adjusted for inflation in over a decade. This failure cost Bridgeport $92 million this year alone, while the statewide racial funding gap approaches $1 billion. Educational equity is a civil right, and this presentation shows why urgent action is needed. In January, the district announced a $32 million deficit. Leaders warned of eliminating 80 assistant principals, cutting programs, and even closing schools. Joseph Sokolovic said, "We cannot balance this on the backs of our students. Bridgeport deserves equity." Willie Medina added, "Transparency is key so families know what's at stake." This was the start of a year-long fight for survival. February brought Finance Committee meetings focused on additional cuts. The agenda listed reductions in personnel, contracts, and programming. Albert Benigin-Grealis stressed every position cut must be openly debated. Robert Traber warned budget requests must reflect reality, not hope. Advocacy for state funding intensified. In March, officials projected $23 million more in cuts unless new funding arrived. Sokolovic reminded the public it would take tens of millions more for Bridgeport to match per-pupil spending with wealthier towns. The phrase financial cliff became the district's reality. April saw the board approve $19 million in cut staff reductions, transportation changes, and program eliminations. Benigin-Grealis emphasized transparency during these painful decisions. Community forums urged residents to demand better from state leaders. May marked the most severe cuts. 20 teachers, all librarians, kindergarten aides, bus service for 2,400 students, and the Fame Arts program. Sokolovic said, "Every cut chips away at opportunity. This is not sustainable." Advocates called the situation catastrophic. In June, the board adopted a $304 million budget for 2025 to 26, but delayed some layoffs. The forensic audit revealed $39 million mismanagement, prompting 34 recommendations for reform. Medina noted, "The audit proved structural weaknesses. We must heed its findings." July brought the audit report to light. No fraud, but serious financial mismanagement. State technical assistance began requiring oversight and corrective planning. Traber stated greater board oversight is non-negotiable. In August, transportation policy changed to save money. Walking distances expanded to 1.5 miles for elementary and 2.5 miles for high school students. Benigin-Grealis said, "These tough choices preserve instruction, but the structural deficit remains." September focused on implementing the new walking distance policy. Officials monitored safety and attendance impacts. Medina stressed, "We're tracking this rigorously to ensure equity and safety." October revealed frustration over $5 million in state bond funds that were allocated but inaccessible due to bureaucratic delays. This highlighted systemic flaws and the urgent need for fiscal reform. In November, Bridgeport appeared before the Municipal Finance Advisory Commission (MFAC). The 5-year plan was rejected for unrealistic projections. MFAC demanded a merged city-school corrective plan with cost containment and shared services, a task that was obviously insurmountable and obviously put in place to embarrass the city of Bridgeport and resulted in our children being deprived $5 million in desperately needed classroom support. Looking ahead to 2026 to 27, Bridgeport needs $37 million more to meet basic needs. Currently, $0 extra dollars have been allocated. By law, boards of education are obligated to balance the budget. We have no credit cards, no ability to go into debt. The funds we are provided is all we can spend. For every dollar not received, a dollar will be cut from children's education. This is the stark reality we face. These are more than just numbers. This represents children's futures. Futures in jeopardy due to anticipated shortfalls that will cause multiple school closures, massive layoffs, cuts to buses, deferred maintenance. Educational equity is a civil right. We must demand the foundation amount be raised to $17,000 per pupil to eliminate the racial funding gap. Contact the governor at 860566 for 840 or visit portal cd.gov/office-of-the-governor. Find your legislator at CGA-CD.gov, join advocacy groups, testify at hearings, and share this message widely. If current leadership will not fund education, elect leaders who will.